Susie Browning is a Granite County Commissioner, and she will explain how this bill will benefit through harvesting of beetle kill trees and wildlife mitigation. Susie?
Thank you, Senator Tester, for inviting me to be a part of this milestone in the future of our forests. This is a new day for us, a time to go forward with what we value. Like others in Granite County, the customs and culture dictate the use of our forest resources, not just for timber, but for agriculture, watershed, wildlife, habitat, and recreation, to name a few. It is vital to our communities that we take care of this resource that makes Montana, Montana. Forest health in the county continues to decline due to unmanaged timber stands, beetle kill, and the spread of noxious weeds. Fire risk around our communities is high. We now talk about what to do with red trees, not green ones. With more and more homes being built on the forest fringe, there's a growing concern about the risk and cost of wildfire in Montana's wildland-urban interface, oftentimes referred to as the WUI. With this expanded growth and increased development, local governments have identified the WUI and have adopted some sort of community wildfire plan. This bill you are sponsoring will foster forest stewardship to reduce the threat of catastrophic fires surrounding us, creating positive solutions that will create jobs in the woods, restore watersheds and our forests, while also protecting our communities from wildfire. We want to be good stewards of our forests, with a coalition of conservative groups, timber industry, and recreational advocates working on the many different levels to protect and restore our public lands. Together, we can build a foundation for our economy and our heritage, managing and preserving the forests for the generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you very much, Suzanne. Next we have Bruce Farling from Trout Unlimited. Bruce will talk about how this bill can help fisheries and wildlife habitat. Bruce?
Thanks, Ed, for having us out here today, and thanks Sherm, Rick Franke, Dan, Gordy, all of our partners who we work with in the timber industry who really went out of their way to think about our perspectives, think about the perspectives of other people in the state, to be objective, to think about doing their business differently, and especially to decide that we need to resolve some issues that have been holding us up too long in Montana. I think everybody here should thank Senator Tester for doing something that sometimes is too rare in today's political climate, and that is he rewarded good work. He told us in the Beaverhead Deer Lodge Partnership, you guys come together, find some common ground, and then go out and talk to other people and get them to support your proposal, and I'll reward you, and I'll help you, and I'll go and try and convince Congress to help you guys out. And that's what he's done today, and it's been a really wonderful thing and very historical for Montana. Primary reason I've been interested in the partnership, and have spent the last 3.5 years in it, and in the other partnerships on the Blackfoot and up in the Yak country, is because of the benefits it provides for two of Montana's iconic resources: water, clean water, and fish. What this bill will do, it's going to protect headwater areas that are important to deliver irrigation water in the Big Hole, Jefferson valleys. It's going to be important for protecting headwaters that deliver drinking water to Anaconda and Butte. And importantly to me, it's going to protect headwaters of our iconic trout streams, some of the nation's best trout streams, from the Kootenai to the Blackfoot to the Madison to the Beaverhead to the Jefferson to the Red Rock and several others, Rock Creek. One of the things that has not been talked about this proposal, the wildland protection, is wonderful. The help we're going to provide the timber industry is also wonderful. There's a third leg of this, in that what this legislation will do is it's going to be providing some tools for organizations like mine to sit down a new partnership with the Forest Service to go out, help design projects, help implement projects on the ground where we could take the receipts off of forests and invest them in fixing forests, fixing streams that currently aren't producing clean water and good trout habitat, as well as wildlife habitat, trails that aren't being maintained, campgrounds that aren't being maintained, and all the other things that have been slighted in national forests for budgetary reasons. There's an awful lot in this for a lot of Montanans, and I think Senator Tester deserves a tremendous amount of credit. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. And last but certainly not least, we have Wayne Hurst from Libby. He's here to read a message from some of the motorized users in northwestern Montana who will see some benefits from this bill. So Wayne, thank you for coming all the way down.
Thank you all for coming. My name's Wayne Hurst. I've been an accountant in Libby for over 30 years, and so I watched the Timber Wars start. And what did it do for us? 30 years of fighting in Lincoln County. We don't have any mills left, except for Chapel Cedar and Troy. And so it's obviously the idea of just fighting and fighting didn't gain us anything. And so I'm happy to come down here. I was happy to get involved in this collaborative group to come to an agreement between various parties who 10 years ago wouldn't even speak to each other. So I just wanted to read you a couple comments from some recreational groups up in Lincoln County. The first would be from Jerry Wandler, president of the Troy Snowmobile Club. And he said, as you know, the Three Rivers Challenge has reached common ground, and we look forward to the challenge of moving ahead with this legislation. Speaking on behalf of the Libby and Troy Snowmobile Clubs, and as a snowmobiler and recreationalist, we live for and enjoy the experiences and opportunities available in the Kootenai National Forest. This legislation will protect the special area for winter recreation held dear to snowmobile enthusiasts. That's going to be Northwest Peaks, is that area. Along with this is wilderness and non-motorized areas that will be protected once this legislation is enacted. The timber component is a cornerstone of this legislation. Effective management of the Kootenai National Forest and putting Montanans to work should be foremost in any legislative endeavor. Thanks again for your willingness to carry this legislation forward. And Joel Chandler, the founder and the senior board member of the Kootenai Ridge Riders ATV Club, says, the days of old where arguing without finding compromise and solution have reaped the present-day situation, a forest in decay, a fire potential with untold devastation, a wood industry without life, and a division of direction. We propose that the Three Rivers Challenge, if even in a small way, to create a common purpose with direction, to breathe life back into the wood products industry, and to slowly heal our local forests. As a forest access proponent, I realize that in order to obtain my values and keep my uses of the forest available, we must all work towards finding compromises and then solutions that are real. What will we be remembered for? Old philosophies that arrived at today's situation, or for a forward movement that created unity toward a common goal? And I applaud Senator Tester for his strong leadership with a vision of what we can all attain if we're only willing to embrace change. And I do want to say, look at what happened for the last 30 years on the most productive forest in Montana. We have no mills left. That's why it's time to, we should have done this sometime in the past, but it's never too late to start, and I want to thank Senator Tester.
Very much, Wayne. Thank you. And I want to thank all the participants here today. I really appreciate you guys coming up and giving us your perspective on this. Special thanks to Ed Reagan once again for using the facilities. And I want to thank you all for being here. As we move forward, I look forward to sharing this legislation with all Montanans. I encourage them, of course I encourage them to support this important forest jobs bill that's for the future. It's for our kids and for our grandkids. And as always, I look forward to hearing feedback. Working together, just as the collaborative groups have done, we will create jobs. Working together, we will create new opportunities for recreation. Working together, we will protect Montana's clean water. Working together, we will protect our communities from wildfire. And working together, we will safeguard Montana's fishing and hunting habitat for our kids and grandkids. I want to make sure that the reporters here get the information they need, so that pretty much wraps things up here. But as Ed said earlier, I would ask the credentialed members of the press corps to join me and the other participants on the other side of the metal building over here for some questions and answers. And thank everybody for coming here today. This is a great Montana day, not only from a climate standpoint, but also also from a policy standpoint. It is, in some aspects for me, the work is just beginning. But the truth is, with support from people like spoke today, from people like you guys and your friends and neighbors around the state of Montana, we can make Montana a better place for our kids and grandkids. Thank you all for being here.